one PDF file was there. Just see that PDF file where it is.
इसको मिनिमाइज करके उस PDF फाइल ओपन कर लीजिए।
मिनिमाइज ना,
हाँ
फाइल
इसी में खुल जाएगा। आप उसको स्क्रीन पे मिनिमाइज करके
ये वाला था, ये वाला इसको क्या रखो।
पूछो उनको।
Are you able to see a file? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Linear optimization. Okay. All right. Okay. So, please wait for some time. Okay. Actually, there is problem. So, more than 300 students have registered for this subject. Okay. But I have not approved it's all. So, still it is more than 100 students. So this Google Meet I was not knowing, so it will not allow more than 100 students. So I have to plan maybe some other software, so which will be full. Okay, so I think some students have already left, isn't it? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is the reason. So I am able to, because I was struggling. So what was the problem? Then if I find, so let me start today. So maybe I will repeat, and these slides to be passed to everybody. I will find which software will be useful and where more than 100 students can be accommodated. I will see. So maybe next week I will plan accordingly and I will inform you. Okay, right? So at least 1 hour today we'll discuss. So this actually the title of the the subject is operational research. Okay, mainly we'll discuss about the linear optimization and all the allied area where we can apply the linear optimization. Okay, so generally we divide the optimization in two parts: linear optimization and non-linear optimization. So this is related to the linear optimization. Okay, so what do we mean by this the optimization? Optimization is an act of obtaining best solution or result under certain restriction. Okay, so for example, so in a linear programming problem, we have a objective function. This objective function, so sometimes we like to maximize, sometimes we like to minimize. That is the reason we say it is optimized. And we have set of restriction, set of linear restriction imposed on the problem. These restrictions, so mathematically they are inequation or equation. So the linear inequation or equations. So and we have also more restriction about the decision variables. There are some variables which are the decision variables or the control variables. There is some restriction. For example, generally these variables are non-negative, and sometimes the variables are integer, sometimes the variables are binary. So that is the story about the linear optimization problem. We like to optimize a objective function subject to certain constraints. So we like to find the best result under given restriction. In several engineering design problems, so engineers have to take many technological and managerial decisions at several stages. So initially maybe, so we have to plan how to formulate the model, then how to impose more restriction, how to find the solution. So sometimes integer solutions, sometimes non-integer solutions, sometimes mixed integer solutions, etc. So we say that engineers have to take many technological and managerial decisions at several stages. The objective of such decision is to either minimize the effort required or maximize the desired benefit. The objective because we are going to maximize or minimize certain function, the linear function. We say it is the objective function, the objective of such decision is to either minimize the effort required or maximize the desired benefit. The optimum solution, optimum seeking methods are known as optimization technique, or you can say it in other word also, you can say it is operational results. The optimization seeking methods are known as optimization technique. It is also known as operational research. It is a part of certainly the operational research. OR is a branch of mathematics concerned with some techniques for finding the best solution. Best solution. Best in the sense we are going to maximize the objective function or minimize the objective function subject to certain constraints. So for this problem, we are finding the best solution. So maximum, the objective function value is maximum, or sometimes it is minimum. So that solution, what we are finding, that is known as the optimum solution or the best solution. Are you able to hear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
These slides I will pass to everybody, so you can circulate also. So just like I am covering the basic things. Just I am mentioning some of the typical examples. I am not an engineer, but still I am saying where these problems are there. The optimal design of solar system, one problem. The second one is electrical network design. Third one is energy model and planning. Fourth one is the optimal design of components of a system. We have planning and analysis of existing operation. Optimal decision of motors, generator and transformer. And the design of aircraft for minimum weight. Then the optimal design of bridge and the building. These are the typical application or the examples what I have mentioned. So here these problems. So sometimes we observe it is a linear programming problem. Sometimes we say it is a nonlinear programming problem. Linear means the objective function and the constants are supposed to be linear. Nonlinear means if anyone, either objective function or constant or on the constraint is nonlinear, then it is becoming a nonlinear programming problem. In the mathematics 2, we have learned how to use the method of Lagrange multipliers to maximize or minimize certain functions. Okay, so there generally we are discussing about the non-linear programming problem. Here we are talking about the linear programming problem, linear models. So this optimization or operation research techniques are divided into two types of models, namely linear models and the non-linear models. So we'll talk about the linear models. Later on, maybe somewhere you can talk about the non-linear models. At first, we'll discuss about the linear models. Later, we'll discuss about the non-linear models. Now, the question is how a model looks like. Mathematical statement. This I like to make it one whole screen. I don't know what is the problem. Let's see.
Sir,
Okay.
green button will full screen.
Which one?
Green button is there, no?
The green button.
Top.
Okay, that will give full screen. Yes. These optimization techniques are divided into two different types. Okay, as I will mention, linear models and nonlinear models. So first we'll talk about the linear models. Mathematical statement of a linear models is given as follows. Okay, So the linear models. So now you will find in every there is a new page. So no need of um, scrolling. So the problem is like this. Our main intention is find a decision vector. It is a vector. In fact, so I am writing a scalar for this variable something like x1, x2, xn. This you can say is a column vector. So later on we will discuss about the column vector also. So we are interested to find this vector, this decision variables x1, x2, xn, and our main aim to maximize this objective function. The linear objective function maximize z equal to summation over j varies from 1 to n cj xj. What is c? Some cost coefficient Cj is attached with the jth component of the xj, Cj into xj. And this, summation over j varies from 1 to n. There are n such terms. This total summation is coming as our objective function, and we like to maximize this z subject to some restriction. These restrictions generally in a problem, we say it is limited resources, limited time, limited money, limited space, limited budget, etc. Okay, these are the some restrictions we imposed on the problem subject to summation over j varies from 1 to n, aij xj less than or equal to bi, I varies from 1 to up to m. So if you look at the problem, there are small n number of variables. There are small n number of variables, and there are small m number of inequations. Here in this problem, there are inequations. Apart from this, so these variables xj is greater than or equal to 0, j varies from 1 to up to n. They are non-negative type. They are non-negative type decision variables. Non-negative. Non-negative in the sense either they are positive or 0. So they cannot be negative. So see, whenever we are solving a system of linear equations, so if a system is given something like x equal to small b, a system, so having several variables and several equations, so we solve the system. First, we check the system whether it is consistent or inconsistent. So we use the rank property. If it is consistent, if the system is consistent, so we have solution. Sometimes we have unique solution, or sometimes we have infinitely many solutions. If it is inconsistent, there is no solution for a system. But see, in a system, the decision variables can be positive, can be negative, can be 0. But in this linear programming problem, so we have the decision variables. All the decision variables are strictly greater than or equal to 0, either 0 or positive. That is the difference. So here it is a system, and the system has some extra property. So we are solving the system where all the decision variables are non-negative. But if it is a simple system x equal to b, when you solve, if it is consistent, it has solution, maybe a unique solution or infinitely many solution. But these decision variables sometimes 0, sometimes positive. I'm saying the ith component or jth component, and sometimes also negative. But there is no restriction. But here we have some specific restriction. All the decision variables are non-negative. So this is a extra point we are imposing on the problem. Now, say I am coming to the general form. What is general form? The general form is like this. So a linear programming model. So we can name this model as LPP1, linear programming problem or model, LPP1. And what is that? So we like to maximize a objective function z equal to summation over j varies from 1 to n cj xj. This is our objective function, and we have constraints subject to, there are say m number of constraints earlier in the problem. So that was the restriction. The earlier in the problem we have strictly less than equal type constraint, strictly less than equal type constraint. Okay, strictly less than equal type. But here in the next problem, so we have imposed something like this constraint. The ith constraint can be sometimes less than equal type, sometimes equally type, sometimes greater than equal type. So it can be any type. Okay, so this constraint, the ith constraint summation over j varies from 1 to n aij xj is less than equal to, or maybe equal type, maybe greater than equal type. Right hand side is bi, I varies from 1 to up to n. And here the decimal variables are non-negative. So if you compare this earlier model and this model, say what is the difference? The difference is here all type of constraints are included. This is the less than equal type constraints. We said is inequation type 1. Then we have equation, equal type constraint, that is equation, and we have greater than equal type constraints. We said is inequation type 2, type 1 inequation and type 2 inequations. So both can be present, and sometimes so some are there, sometimes maybe all types are there, depends on the problem. So this is, as you know, this is a maximization type problem. So we said is a linear programming model 1, it is maximization type. Similarly, we can have also minimization type problem. Okay, so now say a similar problem, LPP2 like to minimize z instead of maximize, summation over j varies from 1 to n cj xj, and subject to we have several constraints. These constraints can be, the ith constraint can be either a less than equal type constraint, say inequation type 1, or maybe equation, or maybe a greater than equal type constraint. So inequation type 2, right hand side is bi, so I varies from 1 to m, and all the decimal variables are non-negative. Say we are now defining types of models. Model LPP1, LPP2, these are the models. Now we'll discuss, say, with this model what we are going to get, how to solve such models. See, there are n number of variables, m number of inequations, equations, all are there, inequation, equation, everything, and all the decimal variables are non-negative. So this is a general problem. So in case if you find only two variables are there, two variables, so in the school level we have learned, so we use graphical methods to find the solution, graphical method sometimes. But here, since there are n number of variables, so n can be 2, n can be 3, n can be anything. So we are not able to solve all the problems using the graphical methods. Only few problems you can solve using the graphical methods. We have to learn what is the general method to solve such problems and what are the applications. What are the applications? For example, so there are several applications of this linear programming models applications. So, and there are special type of linear programming problem. So that also we discuss. So what is special here? Sometimes some problems only minimization type objective function, some constraints are equally type only, no other, and sometimes the right hand side bi is integer, sometimes it is maybe say 1, so sometimes it is binary, that depends on the problem. Okay, so all the LPP problems we will discuss. Here, if there is a constraint, this constraint is the inequations. Now the question is, how can we express as equations? Because finally we have to solve only the equations. So inequations we are not going to solve. We are going to solve equations. Okay. Are you able to hear? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Able to hear.
Yes, because why I'm asking, because sometimes this the situation is like that, so no voice, no sound, and you cannot hear or I cannot listen to you anything. Okay, so this you see, I'm considering the first inequation, first type of inequations. Okay, so this is something like summation over j varies from 1 to n, aij xj less than equal to bi, and with some specific requirement. So the right hand side, the resource level. Generally, in a LTT models, whatever is available in the right hand side, the BI, it is the resources, and these resources can be zero and can be positive. Suddenly, we cannot define the negative resources. Okay, so now if this is an inequation, now how it is possible to you will change this inequation to equation. So now we add a slack variables. Why slack variables? See, in this constraint, in this specific constraint, j varies from 1 to n, aij xj less than equal to bi. There are already n number of variables are there, and this is the ith constraints I'm considering. So n number of variables are already there, something like x1, x2 up to xn. So if it is a ith constraints, we will add one more variables, something like, so if it's I equal to 1, we will write say summation over j varies from 1 to n aij xj plus x n plus I equal to 1. So this will be x n plus 1 equal to, let me say, b1. If I equal to 1, then it is b1. So this variable, whatever we have added, this is a slack variables. We'll name this variable as a slack because once you are adding, that is a slack variables, and these variables generally we say x n plus I, that is non-negative, greater than or equal to 0. This is a slack variables. And sometimes there is a requirement to subtract, we'll say it is a surplus variable. Okay, that also will say it is a surplus variable. So here in this constraint, so if you are going to transform into equation, we are adding a slack variables. So this x n plus I is a slack variables. So we are adding, and this is becoming a equation. This is becoming a equation. So this inequation is becoming a equation. Okay. This the next. So similarly, so what we are going to do, if you have constraints are all or some are greater than or equal to bi, so we generally subtract a surplus variable and we add an artificial variables. Why artificial variables? We are, if it is greater than or equal to I, so once you are subtracting, that is enough. Why artificial variable is required? So there is a requirement. So if it is a greater than or equal to type constraint, so we subtract. Say this constraint is like this. Say summation over j varies from 1 to n aij xj greater than or equal to bi greater than or equal to 0. So if this is the case, say we subtract a surplus variable. This what you are subtracting, that is known as x n plus I. This you are subtracting, and further we are adding an artificial variables. This artificial variables, so meaning is also artificial because it is not a requirement. So it is only requirement in this linear programming. It will help us to find the solution. So artificially this is supposed to be 0. So we have to use these artificial variables for our purpose. So this finally this artificial variable has to be 0. If you cannot make the artificial variable 0, then we'll name the problem is infeasible. The artificial variable has to be 0 finally, but in the beginning, so we have to introduce For this type of constraint, a surplus variable as well as this will subtract a surplus variable, then we'll add an artificial variable, and this is a requirement. So if there is a greater than equal type constraint, then two variables are required. One is surplus variable, another is the artificial variables. This number two. Then we have number three. So number three, so as I have already mentioned, in a linear programming problem, we have inequation, type 1 inequation, less than equal type constraint. We have type 2 inequation, greater than equal type constraint. We have also equations, something like summation over j varies from 1 to n, ai jxj equal to bi, and this bi I am naming is non-negative. So if this is a constant, a equation. So if you are going to use in a linear programming model, so to solve the problem, we introduce an artificial variable here also. Here, no need of subtracting anything. So we are only adding an artificial variables, that is x n plus I. So, and once you are adding, this is equal to bi, and this artificial variable is supposed to be 0 in the final stage. So we'll see that the artificial variable is becoming 0. If you cannot make it 0, then we will conclude the problem is infeasible. Okay. So I'm repeating again. For the type 1 inequation, less than equal type constraints, we are adding a slack variable. This is called slack variable. So for type 2 inequation, we are subtracting a surplus variable. Then we are adding an artificial variables to make it an equation. And if it is an equation, then we are adding artificially an artificial variable. Then we are changing the constraints in this manner. Okay, this, because we have three types of constraints, so we have to perform in three different manner to convert this inequation to equation. Even equation also we are adding an artificial variable. Okay, this. Now, once you add all these slack variables, then surplus variables, subtracting, then adding artificial variables, the number of variables certainly will change. Earlier it was smaller, now I am naming, so we don't know how many we have added, that depends on the problem. So our model is becoming something like, our first model is becoming maximize z, summation over j varies from 1 to capital N. Earlier it was small n. So we have changed after introducing slack surplus artificial variables. This is becoming Cj into Xj, and sometimes if that particular constraint was not there originally, the Cj will be 0 attached to that variables. Okay, summation over j varies from 1 to n, Cj Xj. These are objective function, and we have constant summation over j varies from 1 to n, aij xj equal to bi, I varies from 1 to n. All the constants are becoming equation, and our decision variables xj greater than or equal to 0, j varies from 1 to n. And if this is the problem, so if you have included artificial variables, and the final solution, the artificial variable has to be 0. If you cannot find the 0 value for the artificial variable, we will declare the problem is infeasible. Okay, this is maximization type. Similarly, we have also minimization type. The minimization type problem is like this. Minimization type problem. Minimize z, z equal to summation over j varies from 1 to n, cj xj. There is slightly any difference. That is maximization type, and this is minimization type. And we have, say, same number of constants. Summation over j varies from 1 to n, aij xj equal to bi, I varies from 1 to n, and xj equal to greater than or equal to 0, j varies from 1 to n. These are the two problems. Now, see what it is done. So already we have considered some models. These models, so having several variables, several constraints. Now we are just going to discuss little so about the solution procedure, how you can solve such problems. Okay, so of course, so since we are talking about the linear programming models, the number of variables will start with 2, 2, 3, 4, etc. So if you are considering 2, then certainly the graphical methods is also appearing. So we'll talk about the graphical methods. Okay. So are you able to hear? Hello, students?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
there's a question in Google chat.
Yes, sir.
Tell me.
Sir, in the chat there is question, sir. Can you see
Uh,
Google Meet?
Tell me what is the question? Somebody asking question. Question means do you want to join or what?
Sir,
Sir,
could
why
you
are we
one
subtracting surplus variable in case 1?
Yes, yes.
Sir, why aren't we subtracting the surplus variable in case 1?
the case 2 you have added an artificial variable, but in case 1 you haven't subtracted an artificial variable.
See, this I am coming to this problem here. See here. So if you are asking the questions, these are the very fundamental question, and you are asking very right question, rightly asked. Okay, why we don't want to subtract? Because there is a deficit. No, this is less than equal to bi. Okay, so all the variables in the linear programming, all the variables, whatever you are using, all are non-negative. When already it is less, why do subtract? We have to add on. All the variables, whatever we are considering, all are non-negative. Whether it is a variable, decimal variables, or a slab variables, or a surplus variable, or a artificial variables, all are non-negative. So here, this is less than equal to bi. Right hand side is given, it is positive, less than, shortage. There is a deficit, less. So if you add, then it is becoming equation. Okay, right hand side is positive, and we have to add because this variable is positive. So since it's a positive non-negative variables, we cannot subtract. We have to add. Clear?
But in the next case, we are
Yes.
like
Yes.
adding an
Yes. I'm coming to the next case. Your question is again a very valuable question. Very valuable question. Okay. See, so in this problem, what I am we are interested. What we are interested in this problem, we have subtracted something, a surplus variable, and we have added artificial variables. Okay, so I have told this is an artificial variables. In the chemistry, do some we want to perform some reaction, we add some catalyst, something like. Have you remembered? It has no use, only it will just help us to start the reaction, something like that. Okay, so here this has no use, it will help us to find a basic feasible solution. Okay, what is a basic feasible solution? Basic feasible solution means all the variables has to be in the basic feasible if they all are non-negative. Okay, see, in this equation, right hand side is positive, right hand side positive. Okay, right hand side positive. Now let us say this artificial variable is not there. The artificial variable is not there. Okay, so artificial variable is not there. If for a certain reason I am say considering the initial value something like x1 equal to 0, x2 equal to 0, xn equal to 0, all are 0, then what will happen to xn plus I? Minus xn plus y equal to bi. So this is becoming this slab, the surplus variable is becoming negative. The surplus variable is becoming negative. I have told all the variables have to be non-negative, but if I am considering in some problem, let us say we have some cases like say all these variables like x1, x2 up to xn all are 0, then minus xn plus 1 equal to bi is greater than or equal to 0. So we'll find this xn plus y, the slack variable is becoming negative. So which is not true. The slack variable has to be non-negative. Okay. So this certainly it will not permit. So this x n plus y, what is x n plus y? These slug variables. So in the problem, in the linear programming problem, we have two categories of variables. One is basic variables, and another is non-basic variables. Basic variables has to be always non-negative. Non-basic variables, okay, they can be 0, negative also, but the basic variable has to be non-negative. Basic variables. So this x n plus y cannot act as a basic variables. The artificial variable act as a basic variables. So now the question arises, what are the basic variables in the problem? I'm just naming. This x n plus I can act as a basic variable. Okay. Then x n plus I plus 1, this artificial variable can be also a basic variables. And this x plus n plus I, these artificial variables can be basic variables. So in a linear programming problem, slug variables and the artificial variables can be basic variables. Surplus variable cannot be basic variable. Surplus variables. So we will not consider surplus variable initially as basic variables. So only slug variables and artificial variables. That is the reason artificial variables are added. Okay, that is clear. So I have not come to the problem. Please wait for some time so that this this all the doubt will be clear. Okay, if I cannot clarify, again I will repeat. Okay, right? Please wait for some time. Okay. To clarify your doubt, I'm coming to this problem. Okay, so I have skipped some some steps. I have skipped in the sense, because how to solve the linear programming problem. One is graphical method, another is simplex method. Okay, so graphical methods, there are questions based on the graphical methods, questions based on the simplex method. Then we have big M method, there are questions. Two-pair simplex method, questions also. Revised simplex method, dual simplex method, primal simplex method, primal dual simplex method, then interior one methods. These are the questions for you. So every methods we have several questions and several answers. Okay, so please remember these are the questions. Okay, say, and they are vary. Say one is from another. Okay, so we'll discuss about all the methods. Okay, this. I'm coming to clarify your doubt. Okay. Say what is called a basic solution and what is called a basic feasible solution, and etc. So that now this will give some insights to your doubt. Say whatever you have observed, so some points to be clarified. Now see. Now question is how to find basic solution of a linear system. A system is given, what you have learned in the high school level, in the mathematics 1, 2, whatever you have learned. So about the linear system, Ax equal to B. So this says Ax equal to B in a matrix notation. It is written there are m number of linear equation and n number of variables. Okay, this, and here specifically, so I am restricting the number of variable is more than number of equation. Number of variables are more, number of equations are less. Okay, it can be same also, there is no harm. Okay, so question can be given also, both are same, no problem. So but here this specifically I am mentioning n is more than n. So okay, this system is consistent and these solutions, the once I'm saying consistent and the solutions are infinite. Say what it means, how to say that. So sorry, this system is consistent. So as you know that when we say it is consistent, rank of the coefficient matrix and rank of the augmented matrix, okay, both are same. If I'm saying this rank of the coefficient matrix, the rank of the coefficient matrix A, let me say equal to small m, and this m is less than n. We're assuming, let us say, the rank of this coefficient matrix equal to small m, and this m is less than n. And of course, if it is consistent, the rank of the augmented matrix also should be equal to small m. So that is the rank of this. When we are writing R of m, the rank of this matrix A is m. So if this is the case, say what will happen to this system? So when we are finding, so this system has n number of variables, and we have so m number of equations, and I have already mentioned number of equations are less and number of variables are more. So what will happen to this system? So out of n number of variables, so since rank equal to m, we set n minus m, this number of variables, to 0. Okay. So if you set this number of variables to 0, we have a system. Original system is x equal to b. Once you are setting some of the variables to 0, then our capital A is becoming capital B, and our x is becoming xb, and this b into xb equal to small b. And if this, this capital B is non-singular, then we will have solution. If it is non-singular, if it is singular, certainly we will not have solution. So if it is non-singular, that is determinant of this coefficient matrix B, capital B, is not equal to 0, then what will happen? So our solution xb is becoming B inverse into small b. Okay. This xb is called basic solution. This xb is called basic solution. Okay. And maximum possible basic solution, because you are setting out of n, m are 0, so this many way, so NCM is same as NC n minus m. These many possible basic solutions we can have from this system. Okay, this. So here you will have several doubts. In this example, you will have several doubts. So I want to clarify all your doubts. So in this example, so the question is, find the basic solutions of this system. Basic solution. Okay. So are you able to hear? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It is, you see, this is very simple, because you see, there are two equations and how many variables? How many variables?
4.
Four variables.
Four variables. Okay. So I am not mentioning which one is a slack variables, which one is a not a slack variables. Nothing I am mentioning, but you can realize also. It looks like something x3, x4 are slack variables, but you should not take into your mind that these are the slack variables. These are variables. There are 4 variables, 2 equations. 4 variables, 2 equations. I have told number of variables are more, number of equations are less. So 4 variables, 2 equations. Okay. So suddenly, say, what is the general guess? Of course, suddenly we will apply our rank property to check whether the system is consistent or inconsistent, etc. So let us say I am assuming it is consistent. Okay, it is clear that it is consistent also, right? So since it is consistent, and so what is the maximum rank possible here? Coefficient matrix 2. So out of 4, four variables, and you have rank 2. Okay, rank 2. So if we say the system is consistent, has unique solution, if the coefficient matrix rank is same as augmented matrix rank, is same as number of variables. It is not the same of number of variables. It is 2. less than 4. Okay, so it has infinitely many solution. It is clear?
Yes,
It has
sir.
infinitely many solution. Okay, it has infinitely many solution. Please remember. Okay, here itself I will tell you the first equation x1 plus x2 plus x3 equal to 10. Okay, I am writing. Second equation, so I am writing another equation. Let us say 2x1 plus 2x2 plus 2x3 equal to 20. Okay, second equation is something like say 2x1 plus 2x2 plus 2x3 equal to 20. Two equation. This last one you forget. First equation is x1 plus x2 plus x3 equal to 10. Second equation is x1 plus x2 plus x3. Sorry, 2x1 plus 2x2 plus 2x3 equal to 20. So how many equations? There are two equations, but they are not two. They are linearly dependent. Only one equation? Yes or no? It is one
Yes.
equation. One equations. There may be some cases you will see because sometimes it is visible, sometimes not visible. You have to find out. Okay. Now out of 4, so we have got rank equal to 2. Okay. Now after getting rank equal to 2, we like to find the basic solution. How many basic solutions possible? I have told 4C2. 4C2 means what is the possibility? 4C2. 6 possible cases are there. Okay. So we'll see. Let us say first one I am saying is x3 x4 0. x3 0 x4 0. Okay. Let us say I am saying x3 0 x4 0. What is the solution? x1 plus x2 equal to 10.
X1 equal to
Yes. 8 and
2.
8 and 2.
8 and 2.
8 and 2. So what is the solution you have got? x1 equal to 8, x2 equal to 2, x3 equal to 0, x4 equal to 0. Okay. So the variable which we have set 0, the variable which you have set 0, they are non-basic variable. Okay. The variables which you have set 0, they are non-basic variables. The variables which you have set, we have not set 0, they are the basic variables. Okay. So here now I am coming to because the example, you know what we have just discussed just now. So this case number 6, right? x3 0, x4 0, and we got x1 equal to 8, x2 equal to 2. So what is the heading? See, the first heading is as a serial number, of course. The non-basic variables, basic variables, non-basic variables, basic variables. Okay. So I am setting in this manner, in a very sequence manner: x1 x2, then x1 x3, then x1 x4. Okay. Then x2 x3, x2 x4, x3 x4. Altogether there are, see, you have to, if it is there is a problem and if you are writing a code, you have to do some enumeration. Okay. So that is the reason. So you have to follow a rule. So this rule I am following in this manner: something like x1 x2, x1 x3, x1 x4. Then we have x2 x3, x2 x4, x3 x4. There are 6. Okay. See here, I'm repeating here. So in this equation, if you set x1 equal to 0, x2 equal to 0, x1 equal to 0, x2 equal to 0, what will happen to this? x1 equal to 0, x2 equal to 0. What will happen? x3 equal to 10, then x4 equal to 16. So x3 equal to 10, x4 equal to 16. Sorry, this is how much? It should be 16. Okay, not it by mistake it is given 6. It should be 16. Okay, this x4 will be 16, not 6. Okay, so what is happening to this? These are this x1, x2. These are the non-basic variables, and these are the basic variables. X3 equal to 10, then x4 equal to 16. Okay. Now, if you set x1 equal to 0, x3 equal to 0, and what you are finding? So the other two variables, x2 equal to 10, x4 equal to minus 24. Okay. These are the value of the basic variables. And the third one, x1 equal to 0, x4 equal to 0. we find x2 equal to 4, x3 equal to 6. Say then the fourth one, x2 equal to 0, x3 equal to 0. These are the non-basic variables. The variables which you are setting 0, they are the non-basic variable. Rest, they are basic variables. So x1 equal to 10 and x4 equal to 6. Okay. I think here how. Okay, this will be 6. All right. Then the fifth one, x2 equal to 0, x4 equal to 0. This will give x1 equal to 16 and x3 equal to -6. And the last one, x3 equal to 0, x4 equal to 0, x1 equal to 8. Now we have two categories. What is the category? Non-basic variable, basic variable. Non-basic variable, basic variables. Non-basic variables are all 0. Non-basic variable. Basic variable, you see, in first case we got both positive. Second case, one of them negative. Third case, both positive. Fourth case, both positive. Fifth case, one of them negative. Sixth case, both are positive. Now, we have solution. In the linear programming problem, we have solution. The solution is supposed to be a basic feasible solution. Okay. So this, you see, this first solution, both are positive. So basic solution, it is a basic solution and the solution is feasible. And second one, it is a basic solution, the solution is not feasible because one of them is negative. Basic variables, there are two basic variables, one of them negative. So this cannot be a basic feasible solution. Second one cannot be a basic feasible solution because there is a negative. Then third one, so here both are positive, the basic variables. This can be a basic feasible solution. Then fourth one, both are positive. This can be a basic feasible solution. Fifth one of them negative. So this cannot be a basic feasible solution. And the last one, so both are positive. This can be a basic feasible solution. Now the conclusion is only 4 solutions are basic feasible solution. Serial number 2 and serial number 5 are not basic feasible solution because negative solution are there. So basic feasible solution means the solution, all the variables, the basic variables has to be non-negative. And of course we have the non-basic variable, they are 0. So that is the difference between basic solution and basic feasible solution. Is all right? Now I was telling in this example, so when we introduce the artificial variables, slug variables, surplus variables, we are looking for basic solution as well as basic feasible solution. So in this case, the basic feasible solution, if you consider this surplus variable, this will not give a initial basic feasible solution. It will give negative value, so it cannot be a basic feasible solution. Okay, this only slug variables and the artificial variables can give basic feasible solution. Okay. Are you able to hear? Hello? We are discussing.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now I will tell you. So very quickly I will mention. So we are talking about the not the 2 variable problem or 3 variable. We are talking about the general problem. Okay. So how to define? So see this point X, we say that there are n number of components. Generally it is a column vector. This column vector having component like say x1, x2, xn. Okay. So these are the coordinates and each of the coordinates are real numbers. Okay. I will tell you. See this figure something like that here. we'll talk about the let us say convex set. Okay, convex set. You know the convex set? See, I'm telling here the region like say some for example a triangular region. Okay, in the linear programming problem. You know, set of constraints, their intersection form the region. Okay, that region is always a convex set. This convex set has some. The convex set can be a line segment, can be a triangular region, can be a point, can be a quadrilateral, can be a pentagon, can be a hexagon, etc. Okay, so this convex set, this has some extreme points. So for the linear programming problem, our optimal solution occurs only extreme point only, nowhere else. Only at the extreme points we'll find the optimal solution, nowhere else. Okay, so we'll check at the extreme points, and sometimes there are two different extreme points, they are adjacent and both are also optimal solution of a problem. So if there are 2 points we have obtained, then we conclude that the problem has infinitely many solutions. Okay, so one more observation. What is that? So in general, a system of linear equation. In general, a system of linear equation. So either it is consistent or inconsistent. Okay. Of course, I am talking about the non-homogeneous system. So either it is consistent or inconsistent. If it is consistent, it has either a unique solution or infinitely many solutions. Okay, I'm repeating again. So a linear system, either it is consistent or inconsistent. If it is consistent, then it has either a unique solution or infinitely many solutions. Same thing for the linear programming problem. Same thing. What is that? A linear programming problem either has one optimal solution or infinitely many optimal solutions, or sometimes it has no solution. The problem is infeasible. So no solution. So there is a problem. So there is no intersection. So this is not forming any set, any convex set. There is the common region. So we say it is an infeasible problem. So there is no solution to such problem. So a linear programming problem in general has either one optimal solution or infinitely many optimal solution or no solution. No solution means infeasible. Similarly, a linear system also has either one solution or infinitely many solutions. Of course, it has to be non-homogeneous. Okay. Now, we'll have to discuss about the graphical method first, then the simplex method. Okay, graphical method, then the simplex method. Okay, and other method, of course. Okay, so I'm coming to the graphical method. Okay, so why I'm coming to the graphical method directly? Because what exactly we do in a linear programming problem? What exactly? So graphical methods for a linear programming problem. Of course, we'll talk about the two variable problems. Only two variable problem can be solved using graphical methods. What is this first step here? So because we have to solve it graphically means we have to use the graph paper. Okay. So define the coordinate system and plot the axis. Associate each axis with a variable. There are say two variables, let us say x1, x2. X1 we can treat as say the x-axis. So x2 you can treat in the y-axis. That's all. And see, I have already mentioned in the linear programming problem, all the variables are non-negative. So you will explore the solution only in the first quadrant, because it is given only the x1, x2 are non-negative, and we will explore the solution in the first quadrant. Okay. Step 2, plot all the constant. A constant generally represent either a line or a region. Why line? Because if it is an equation, it is a line. If it is an inequation, it is a region. So the constant either they represent either a line or a region. Then step 3, identify the feasible region, that is the solution space. Feasible region is the intersection of all the constraints. If there is no feasible region, the problem is infeasible. Infeasible means no solution. Then step 4, identify the extreme points of the feasible region. Identify the extreme points of the feasible region. How do I identify? So when we have a feasible region, this extreme point generally, here the feasible region we are forming using the either the inequation or equations. These are the figure, something like maybe a line, maybe a triangle, maybe a quadrilateral, maybe a pentagon, maybe a hexagon, etc. Okay. So identify the extreme points of the feasible region. Okay. Step 5, for each extreme point, determine the value of the objective function. The point that maximizes and minimizes this is optimal. Okay. Here in these few steps, there are several things are there. Several things. So I will just explain. So with this example. Okay. This is a maximization type problem. The problem is given something like maximize z equal to x1 plus 3x2 subject to x1 plus x2 less than equal to 10, then x1 plus 4x2 less than equal to 16, and x1 x2 non-negative. Okay, this. So this is a very elementary problem. Everybody, you will be able to guess the optimal solution where it is becoming maximum. Okay, where it is giving maximum value. Okay, this. So if there are two constraints. One is x1 plus x2 less than equal to 10. Another is x1 plus 4x2 less than equal to 16. Okay. So this, you see, the one is x1 plus x2 less than equal to 10. This line. Okay. This. So less than equal to. So all these region below the line. Okay. That is the region we are finding with respect to the first constraint. Then we have x1 plus 4x2 less than equal to 16. So this x1 plus 4x2 less than equal to 16. This second one, and their intersection. This is the feasible region. Their intersection, first line and second line. So the below and this line below all together. So this is the feasible region. This feasible region. See, this feasible region is a convex set. So what are the extreme point? O is an extreme point. Its coordinate is 0, 0. A is another extreme point. Coordinate is 10, 0. B is another extreme point. Coordinate is 8, 2. X1 equal to 8. X2 equal to 2. Then C is another extreme point. This coordinate is 0 and 4. This, with respect to these 4 extreme points, 1, 2, 3, 4, we have identified the extreme points of the feasible region. This feasible region form a convex set. According to, I will discuss some theorems. So not now. So we will discuss some theorems. Theorems say these extreme points are nothing but the basic feasible solution. These extreme points are nothing but the basic feasible solution. Okay, this. So this we have got I will tell you this same example we have already possibly have solved. You know, you can just see that one. We are talking about the basic feasible solution. So that is x1 plus x2. Okay. This was 10, something like it was less than equal to 10. So we're adding a slug variables. Then x1 plus 4x2 plus x4 equals 16. We're here also adding a slug variables. So that I have not mentioned. So with respect to this, so what are the basic solutions? So one is 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, x1 0, x2 0. Okay, so that is the origin. So x1 0, x2 0. See, you can see there out of 6 points are there. So one is x1 equal to 8, x2 equal to 2. That is a basic feasible solution. 8 and 2, please remember, x1 equal to 8 and x2 equal to 2. Then we have another basic feasible solution, x1 equal to 10, x1 equal to 10, and other things I'm forgetting because the x2 equal to 0, because in the graphically we are talking about the 10 and 0. Okay, 10 and 0. And then we have x2 equal to x1 equal to 0, x2 equal to 4. Then we have x1 0, x2 0. Okay, so same thing we are observing here also. I did not confuse you. So class চালছে পরে। See, these 4 basic feasible solution I have told. One is 0, 0, this point. Another is 10, 0. The class চালছে। So one is 0, 0, another is 10, 0, another is 8, 2, another is 0, 4. Okay, this. So what I want to say, when we plot the constants, so we got feasible region is nothing but this quadrilateral. So one is the origin, the point is 0, 0, another is A, that is 10, 0, and another is B, 8, 2, and these are another point, this is 0, 4. These are the 4 different extreme points. So these extreme points are nothing but the basic feasible solution. So if you map, so these 4 points are nothing but the basic feasible solution. And what is the observation? Optimal solution is also a basic feasible solution. It occurs at the extreme point only. If you have 2 optimal solutions, 2 adjacent optimal solutions, this convex combination, the entire convex combination of the line segment is also an optimal solution. So there you will find infinitely many solutions. At 0, 0, at 0, 0, at 0, 0, this objective function value becoming 0. At 10, 0, the objective function value is becoming 10. At 8, 2, the objective function value is becoming, that is 16. And we have at 0, 0, 4, this objective function, not 16, it is becoming 14. And the 8 plus 6, it is becoming 14. And at 0, 4, it is coming as 12. So here it is coming 0, here it is coming 10, here it is coming 14, and here is coming 12. So, and we find the maximum solution occurs at B only. So that is the Now, the same problem, if I'm talking instead of maximize, you like to minimize this problem, where you will find the minimum solution with respect to this problem, where you find the minimum solution. The minimum solution occurs at the, yes, where you will find minimum?
Origin.
At the origin. Okay, at the origin. So I will try to tell you one thing. Some problems are well formulated and some are not well formulated. Okay, so if I'm saying if I'm writing minimize z equal to this is a problem, but the problem is not well formulated. So when there is less than equal type constants, the objective function is maximization type is a right choice. When there is a minimization type problem, the constants are greater than equal to type is a right choice. Okay, so in this case, so we can explore the minimum solution. So here, what I have mentioned with respect to this example, okay, I am coming. Now, let us say we are not solving graphically. We are solving it using the basic feasible solution method, because those are attending the laboratory. So the first experiment is find the basic feasible solution of system of linear equation, then find the solution of a linear programming problem using the basic feasible solution. Okay, now see here what we will do. If it is given this problem, instead of solving graphically, you solve it using basic feasible solution method. X1 plus X2 less than equal to 10. So you have to add a slack variables. What it should be? X1 plus X2 plus X3 equal to 10. Once I am adding X3 and making equal to 10, so X3 is a slack variable. Okay, X1 plus X2 plus X3 is becoming 10. The second one, X1 plus 4X2. So third variable already have used, that is the slack variable. Then the fourth variable plus X4 equal to 16. So X1 plus 4X2 plus X4 equal to 16. So see, this X1, X2, they are also non-negative. And this X1, X2, they are non-negative. And we have included two more variables, X3 and X4. They are non-negative. All the four variables are non-negative. Okay. Now we will solve it using basic feasible solution method. What we will do? So there are two equations, four variables. So of course we should analyze through the rank of the coefficient matrix and the rank of the augmented matrix equal to 2. So since 2 out of 4, two variables we set non-zero, 2 are 0. The variables which you are setting non-zero, they are basic variables, and the variables which you are setting 0, they are non-basic variables, basic variable, non-basic variables, and you solve. There are 6 such cases, and you solve, you find the solution. This solution, you find all the solution. After finding all the solution, you find the basic feasible solution where all the variables are non-negative, whether it is basic variable or non-basic variables, all are non-negative. So if it is non-negative, that is a basic feasible solution. Okay, so once we have got the basic feasible solution, that solution you have to test it for the objective function. Where it is giving maximum value, that is our optimal solution. If there are more than 2 points, so this at least 2 points, then we have infinitely many solutions. Okay, this is clear? Or any doubt? Hello? So
No
these slides, whatever I'm planning maybe next week. How the other teachers are teaching, which software?
Microsoft Teams.
Microsoft MS. No, that I was using last semester. That I was finding some problems. So so that is the only solution. And any other?
No, sir.
That's a team. So I have
Sir,
to
you
get
can use the paid version of this Google Meet, sir. It allows then more than 100 participants and
paid,
also
paid.
recording feature and downloading attendance.
No. Paid means you have to who will pay for it. So IIT.
So IT is already paying for Teams. No.
Last year, sir, PD course teachers use this Google Meet only. There they could take 160 students. Like they use this paid version of Google Meet.
Okay.
So you can see.
ପରେ ଗୋଟେ କଥା କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଅଛି hello so so the PD PD who is the PD teacher hello
Sir, Professor Upamita Gayan.
Acha, so I will ask him where she is using that one so okay so she using the she also taking class in the Google Meet no
Yes, sir.
Okay more than 160 students are there you are saying okay
Yes,
Okay,
sir. And
so-
it also has some different more features like recording the lecture and downloading the attendance sheet and everything.
see see many things are possible many things you can do it but problem is you know see main problem is our evaluation okay main problem is evaluation okay so I'm not feeling happy because almost all right in same manner okay all right so we'll find a way to solve this problem okay so I will ask madam to where is she using otherwise again MS Team I will use okay okay thank you very much so I will pass so I will stop here and I will pass these slides to everybody but those who have registered I can send by email okay in the ERP okay so those who have not registered so you can just collect from your friend okay that's all thank you so I will
Sir,
stop
what is the current strength of the course? All that you have approved.
our department how many students are there tell me our department there are more than 60 students mathematics department okay my own department and apart from that so 100 something I have approved okay so if it is more than that so more than 160 70 I cannot complete I cannot take evaluation because that is the crisis and I was thinking also that will also Google Meet to permit so 308 students have applied it is impossible so in first time I am observing so many because in first day second day there are no students
Sir, actually,
yes tell me
sir, actually, this course is as a part of like it is requirement for minor and micro specialization. So
no that is, no, that is all
applying for
right
it, sir.
so that is all right so then you need 3-4 section okay so then the department you have to everybody see suddenly see, I am the teacher teaching for last several years suddenly so many how do you think happen see not that see one student say to other student so first day second day or nothing else then so many students are opting for that without any intention okay this is not fair okay